the agenda.
It's exactly 8:56 a.m. and we are now going to be joined by Mike Bolhuis. He actually needs no introduction, but just for the record, he is a specialist investigator, and he's going to be talking to us about a new threat. Just when we thought it was safe to go out, we are now told that there is stalking happening in malls and in public spaces. So how do we ensure that we are safe in these spaces? Mike's going to run through this issue with us. A very good morning to you, Mike Bolhuis. Welcome to the program. And we do apologize that we can't get you on Skype, but I do hope you can hear me loudly and clearly.
Yes, I can hear you now, Julie. Thanks for the opportunity. This is not I wouldn't say it's a new thing, but it has escalated of late, where people are monitored at malls or entertainment venues, and they are sometimes even videoed and audioed and followed, and then also a crime committed against them. We did send out a project. It's worthwhile reading. You can put it on all your platforms. It's called Stalking in Malls in the West Rand. We used that area as an example because there has been a spike in those incidences. So first of all, our advice to all the ladies, it seems like they target the elderly and ladies, and sometimes specifically beautiful women. We would advise that you try and draw attention by having very expensive jewelry, by being positive paranoid, by being careful, by making sure your phone is fully charged so that you can use it and video back if you are followed, to look around and make sure that you are safe, preferably with people always with you. Try nowadays to do something, shopping or going out with some form of a protective person going with you, like a family member or a male. And then the signs of following is quite easily. You usually, especially women, will pick it up. They will feel uneasy. Look around and check out for suspicious people that constantly pop up. If you see somebody is following you further than about 100 or 200 meters, it is very suspicious. You must report the incident. Report it to the safety and security infrastructures at the malls or the entertainment venues, and also report it at the police. You must demand that they take your statement so that they can have an idea of possible crimes that can emanate in an area. Otherwise, we have no statistics. We also advise that, yes?
You also say in your report that normal communication entails walking up to someone and speaking to the person directly. Are you suggesting that you speak directly with the person that's been following you and confront them, or are you suggesting something else by that sentence?
In the report that we said that it's very important that you should have or should be accompanied by the security or by somebody. If you have somebody with you, you can do the confrontation. But obviously,
Right.
you'll have to assess the situation. For instance, if it's just a youngster playing a prank, you can easily walk up to him and say, "Stop it," and tell him the dangers thereof, and it makes people uneasy. And don't be a peeping Tom, etc., etc. But if it's a person that clearly poses a threat, you don't confront. You move away. You seek protection. You seek up the safety and security infrastructure. You video back. You make sure that you video the whole situation so that you have pictures and information. But you have to, as a woman, as a lady, as an elderly person, you'll have to assess the situation very carefully, because crimes can be committed whilst being followed and videoed, and that could be anything from stealing the stuff in your trolley, hijacking you, stealing your jewelry and your cell phone, your handbag. Unfortunately, these crimes is escalating at malls, and it's an easy way to for the criminals to make a big buck. You can think for yourself, if an elderly couple is going to their car with their trolley, to just grab the trolley and run away with it, with a couple of grand's groceries. It happens.
Mm.
So when you're in the malls and in these places, you must make sure that you have safe parking. As I've said, take people with to assist you. Unfortunately, this is what South Africa has come to. You have to be careful at the malls because any crime can be committed. What we have exposed here is that there is a stalking going on, and we have been receiving quite a few complaints, especially targeting young and beautiful women, and they should be very careful.
When you talk about stalking in what sense of the word? Normally, I associate stalking with someone who's, targets a beautiful, pretty woman and then follows her and just ends up becoming a peeping Tom or tries to chat her up, etc. Is this stalking with the intent of kidnapping the person or robbing the person? What exactly are you talking about in this context of stalking?
In this context, it's short term. You get many levels of stalking. You get long-term stalking, where a person is fascinated with a person or a previous girlfriend or a specific woman or even celebrity, and they stalk them for years. But in this level, all the other levels, we don't have time to go into. This level, it's short term, in either to make contact or to just be a pest or a nuisance, or as a prank, or just for the fun of it, or in the intent to try and make a date or get to know you. It could be quite innocent, but they don't pick it up that if you follow a person, it could make a person uneasy. So what we would say is that if you see that this is a person that is absolutely no threat following you, you may contact that person directly and say, listen, why are you walking everywhere where I'm walking? What is your intent? What do you want? And then you can obviously say your say. But you need to assess the situation, because most of these short-term stalkings leads to the theft of jewelry, cell phones, handbags, and or the vehicle, or a form of short-term kidnapping. Short-term kidnapping is they take you, they keep you for a couple of hours, they draw all the money out of your accounts, they take everything you've got, they drop you. And this also happens and has escalated a lot. Here's the bottom line, Julie, and this is what I'm telling the public. You cannot walk in South Africa anywhere, not through the bush, not on the street, not in a mall, nowhere, not even around or close to a police station, without being positive paranoid. You have to be aware. The criminal element of today is looking for any form of opportunity, and the criminal element has no problem by stealing the smallest item you have to the biggest and yourself.
Okay, and I do hope on closing on the discussion, I do hope and pray that the malls are aware of it and they are ramping up their security, not only inside of the malls, but also in the parking spaces.
We need visual policing, Julie. We need proper visual policing, especially in months like April and October and November and December and January. You need that, especially in holiday times. They need to check it out when most people are at the entertainment and malls and going out. Visual policing is the best. The malls are absolutely and totally irresponsible. They cannot have guards there that cannot even, never mind walk 100 meters. They should be fit as a fiddle. They must be able to quickly and effectively secure a situation, and they must be feared and respected. Unless we have authorities everywhere to protect and serve our public, this kind of crime and any and other crimes will escalate.
And in closing, then, I should also imagine that where possible, try not to take the kids with you to the mall, because that's also a risk, is it not?
Yeah. It's very, very important, as I've said, to listen to this conversation again, to those that are listening, listen to it in its total context. And the only way that crime is stopped, with the last total statement that sums it up, is if crime is dealt with in a zero tolerance basis. But it can only be done if the public and the police works together. The police must be assisted. The police must be informed, and obviously there must be consequences for anybody following another person. It must be addressed.
Mike Bolhuis, Specialist Investigator, thank you indeed for your time. I do apologize that our time has been cut short due to technical problems, but we will revisit this sometime soon. Go well and thank you.
Thank you. God bless. All of the best.
9:06 exactly, news and views right here on Salam Media. In a minute or two, we will be joined by Zahid Jadwit, our correspondent based in KZN. He's going to be bringing us the daily news starting today.